Very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on MTV Sports. I'm Shahin Rangpati with your news. First in your headlines, floods in several areas due to heavy rainfall. Savanagala records highest rainfall in the last 24 hours. Ceylon Fisheries Corporation says that fish prices have reduced by 30%. US Republican Vice Presidential candidate Paul Ryan says another 4 years with Obama as Commander-in-Chief would lead to continued economic struggle. Now for the stories in detail. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation states that there is a delay in obtaining the crude oil required for the Sapugaskanda oil refinery. Managing Director of CPET, Kosusanta Silva, said that this situation has arisen due to the difficulty in importing crude oil from Iran.
What we require this refinery is crude oil from Iran. If we use crude oil from elsewhere, we will have a problem. We've been expecting a stock of oil from Iran, but we haven't received it yet. This is not a shortcoming of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation. To compensate for this shortage, we have taken steps to import oil from elsewhere. We hope to receive this stock by the beginning of November. We are also expecting another stock before that.
However, Secretary of the Crude Oil Branch of the Jatika Sevaka Sangamya, Ananda Palita, said that operations at the Sapugaskanda oil refinery may come to a halt due to the lack of crude oil.
The refining process will come to a standstill because of the lack of crude oil. CPETCO is already facing major internal problems and this will further aggravate these problems. We will be forced to import refined oil at an extra cost.
Responding to this statement, Managing Director of CPET, Kosusanta Silva, had this to say.
There won't be a standstill in the oil refinery process. Even if there is, it will be a short one. We have already received the crude oil stocks for November and December. We can't tell you exactly if there will be a standstill in the refinery process. There is enough oil in the country at the moment. There won't be a shortage of oil in this country.
Well, moving on to more local news, Ceylon Fisheries Corporation states that fish prices have declined by around 30% in the past few days. Chairman of the Ceylon Fisheries Corporation, Mahil Senaratna, stated that the quantity of fish brought in from the east and south has seen a significant increase. He added that 140 metric tons of fish had been purchased by the Fisheries Corporation in the last 2 weeks. Senaratna went on to say that purchasing of the harvest of fish has been increased in order to maintain the prices of fish at a stable level. Well, heavy rain in the past few days has caused floods in several areas of the country. Our correspondent stated that landslides had also been reported, disrupting transport on some main roads. Now, the Met Department reported that the Savanagala area in Ampara had received the highest rainfall in the past 24 hours.
About 100 houses in the Vadrupu area in Ambalantota were flooded following heavy overnight rainfall. Our correspondent stated that flooding had been caused by the Walava River overflowing. Our correspondent further stated that the river was overflowing due to sandbanks blocking the estuary. Assistant Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kodipilli, said that steps have been taken to widen the estuary last evening. He added that the process had been successfully completed this morning. Meanwhile, houses in Veerasekarapura, Indikumbura and Vallavaya were inundated owing to heavy rain. Our correspondent noted that around 20 houses were underwater. Area residents stated that the rains which started at around 5 last evening continued unabated till 10 last night. They stated that the houses were around 2 feet underwater. The Met Department stated that rain could be experienced in many parts of the island today as well. Meanwhile, the landslide had occurred at the 203-kilometer post on the Beragala-Vallavaya road. Our correspondent stated that traffic had come to a standstill due to this landslide. Area residents along with the police have started clearing the road. Owing to the heavy rains, a landslide warning has been issued for the Katugastota stretch of the Kandy Jaffna A9 route. Our correspondent stated that the road had sunk nearly 60 feet in the Piga Oya area.
Senior Minister for International Monetary Cooperation Dr. Sarath Amunugama states that the prevention of a nuclear war through the intervention of the UN has been a major victory. Now the minister expressed his view at the UN Day of Bishops College in Colombo yesterday.
United Nations has succeeded in keeping war out of our world and civilization for 67 years, and that I think is a great achievement. Of course, there have been local wars, regional wars. There was a war in Korea, war in Vietnam, war in the Balkans, war in the Horn of Africa, but they've all contained and to some extent resolved locally. The world has been spared another horrible and possibly a thermonuclear devastating world war. So that itself is a great achievement.
Well, still in local news, a demonstration was launched by a group of private bus owners in Ampara this morning. The demonstration was held to call for a change in the Nawalapitia bus depot timetable. Our correspondent stated that the demonstration commenced at around 8 this morning. Private bus workers of the Ampara Mahayanganaya and Ampara Kandy bus routes participated in the demonstration. The reason for the demonstrations is the timing of the bus, which begins its journey from the Ampara bus stop and travels to Hatton via Mahayanganaya and Kandy. The demonstrators did not allow this particular bus to proceed this morning. Incidentally, the police had to intervene in order to put the bus back into service following discussions with the demonstrators. Our correspondent noted that the private bus workers on the Kandy Ampara and Mahayanganaya Ampara bus routes refrained from participating in the demonstration. Moving on to more local news, 186 degree holders received employment in the Ministry of Economic Development in Galewala yesterday. Letters of appointment were presented by the Minister of Land Development, Janaka Bandara Thennakoon.
The former president of Singapore said that he wanted to make Singapore like Sri Lanka. We are now following Singapore. That means we have fallen back. I think the main reason for this is our education system. We need to introduce a system that will benefit our children and have a positive impact on the development of our country.
A pylon carrying high voltage power lines across Agbopura College in Kantale is in an extremely decayed state. While the parents of the students have informed the relevant authorities about the matter, no steps have been taken yet to repair or replace the pylon.
An unfortunate incident occurred at the Agbopura College 2 years ago. A grade 1 student died when a rusted gate collapsed on her, crushing her to death. Parents and teachers of the Agbopura College believe that this school, which has witnessed such tragic incidents, will see history repeat itself if this electricity pylon is not shifted. There is an electricity pylon in the middle of our school. The one on the other side is severely decayed. We have informed all the relevant authorities. The Education Department, the Trincomalee Provincial Council, the Electricity Board have all been informed. However, no one has taken any steps to move this pylon.
Well, in sports news, veteran cricket commentator Tony Greig says that he was touched by the response from Sri Lankans following the announcement of his illness. It was revealed over the weekend that Tony Greig had been diagnosed with lung cancer. Now, 66-year-old Tony Greig played for England as an all-rounder from 1972 to 1977. Born in South Africa, he played for England before taking up a career in commentating. He underwent several medical tests while in Sri Lanka to commentate on the ICC World 2020 matches.
Well, as everyone knows, Sri Lanka is very dear to my heart. I have a relationship that goes back a long way, just to that period, just to before that wonderful victory in the 1996 World Cup, when I predicted that they would win, because I thought they'd just played such wonderful cricket and were such lovely characters. You've no idea what it means to me to have received the support that I have from so many Sri Lankans in so many different ways since the announcement of my illness. It's a very special feeling in the heart of someone to know that there's a nation of cricket lovers like the Sri Lankans, who care about an individual like myself. I'm so grateful for that.
Well, for more details on this story, tune into Primetime News on MTV Sports at 9 tonight. But moving on to more sports news, Kingswood College can be shown at the All-Ireland Inter-School Chess Championship, while Visakha Vidyalaya Colombo put up a magnificent performance to claim both girls' championships. 180 students participated at the event, which took place at the Royal College, Polonnaruwa. The Under-14 Boys Championship was won by Malayadeva College, Kurunegala, who acquired 25 points. Second place went to Ananda College, who scored 24 points. Meanwhile, Visakha Vidyalaya Colombo went on to claim the girls' championship. Visakha scored 25 points with runners-up Southland College, Gaul, scoring 23.5 points. Kingswood College Kandy won the boys Under-16 championship, scoring an outstanding 31 points. In second place was Rahula College of Matara, who scored 23.5 points. The Under-16 girls' championship also went to Visakha Vidyalaya Colombo. The girls from Visakha acquired 24.5 points, while runners-up Southland College from Gaul were close behind on 23.5 points. Well, that brings an end to Lunchtime News today. Join us again at 1:55 for more of the very latest. I'm Shine Jirambati. Take care.